of Honor Friday is on the air. My name is Joe Dombrowski. We are north of the border this week in a famed historic wrestling city of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Let's go to the voice of ROH, Bobby Cruise.
This is a six-man tag team match and it is set for one fall. Team number one at a combined weight of 659 pounds. The team of number one, Bryan Johnson and the Fraternity.
Future Honor fans know number one Bryan Johnson all too well. That's the Fraternity behind him. It is Trent Gibson and Channing Decker. There you see Trent Gibson with that Fraternity pledge paddle, for lack of a better term. Channing Decker with that towel. The Fraternity, I followed their careers the past number of years. They have broken tag team championship records in regional organizations in Canada and the United States, and they are realizing a lifelong goal, competing here tonight in the Anatomy Athletic Center, of course, perhaps better known the world over as the famed Maple Leaf Gardens. Frank Tunney's watching somewhere, very proud of what Ring of Honor is bringing to this venue and bringing to these great fans in one of the best wrestling cities of the world, as we send it back to Bobby Cruise.
Their opponents, Cheeseburger, Eli Isom, and Ryan Nova. Together, they're Shinobi Shadow Squad.
And it's not just the history of professional wrestling that Cheeseburger, Ryan Nova, and Eli Isom have studied as part of the Shinobi Shadow Squad. 3S, it is martial arts, it is ninja-like tactics and mentality, it is being abusive yet elusive, it's striking quicker than your opponent can even detect, and it's worked out so far. This trio undefeated in competition since officially aligning together after many, many months of being inseparable behind the scenes and certainly in the ROH dojo as well. But an interesting set of events here, because as we see the Code of Honor adhered to, the Fraternity have been a tag team for, I believe, the past 3 or 4 years now. They have more time together. They have more reps in, so to speak, than Team 3S, even if you factor in their time in training. So perhaps, just perhaps, 3S coming into Toronto as the underdogs, as Johnson a takedown to Cheeseburger. Very proud of himself. Fraternity also are Canadians. We'll see if they have home turf advantage as this matchup presses on. But Cheeseburger, certainly no fear, as he's worked over by Bryan Johnson. Johnson, a natural-born narcissist, a megalomaniac, if you will. But quite proficient. He's always calling people baby doll. And I think that was a strut, either that or some sort of neurological issue. Be that as it may, Johnson tags in Channing Decker. I believe Decker just yelled out F4E. That stands for Fraternity for Eternity. One of their calling cards. Fraternity, as their name implies, a couple of individuals who maybe didn't quite grow up out of the college party years, as Cheeseburger takes out the knee and connects high right around the side of the jaw of Channing Decker. Decker has been taking his career very seriously, however, in recent months. Extensive travels, wars against some very well-established veterans, but we'll see how we can handle the cohesion, the synergy that 3S brings to the table. Frequent tags. Ice in the catapult into the underrated striker Nova, who springs in with the elbow. Nova on top for 2. That's all he's going to get that time. 3S in some ways harken back to some of the tag teams of old this building has seen. Maybe Davey Boy and Dynamite, maybe the Hearts. With their frequent tags and their frenetic pace, as the shot to Decker in the ring. Was able to, well, look out, the Jawbreaker connects. Decker was neutralized for a minute, but the diversion on the outside by Gibson allowed the Fraternity to turn things around. The illegal advantage leads the double team and into the elbow. If you ask the Fraternity, that's a nice second up moonsault that time. Gibson out for the cover with 2. If you ask the Fraternity about that diversion, that distraction quite illegally on the outside, Fraternity would just call that a hashtag total frat move. Tag back into Bryan Johnson, though. Not sure what kind of a drinker Bryan Johnson is, but if these three can knock off the win streak of 3S, perhaps we'll have a after party for the ages. As now it's Johnson and the Fraternity showing the frequent tags at Trent Gibson. Cheap shots to Berger and Isom. Nova's been neutralized, and now everybody unloading on Ryan Nova. Nova has been neutralized. He's been isolated. And wait a minute. Oh, the Fraternity calls that the keg stand. They were going to end this thing, but Nova finds a way out. And Nova didn't get the momentum he wanted off of Decker, but he was still able to plant Gibson. There's no substitute for gravity. And Nova was able to propel Gibson down. Decker's shaking the cobwebs. He can't get involved anyway. He's the illegal man. And we got a couple of tags as Johnson and Berger meet center ring. Huge elevation that time from the Sesame Seed Cowboy. And never, ever underestimate the striking game of the man mentored by the timeless, iconic Jushin Thunder Liger. Not to mention the heart and determination, and it could be time. Berger psyching up Toronto and connects with that thrust kick. Will that do it? Johnson kicks out. Johnson's been trying to find a formula to stop 3S for some time now. But Berger warming up that hand. Liger approved. Decker sends Johnson out of harm's way, counters the Shote and connects with a high clothesline of his own. And now attempt yeah, the keg stand this time is going to do it. No! Berger sends one frat member into the other and Isom. Oh, that is amazing power. The deceptive strength of Isom into the alarm clock. Oh, Isom and Nova, they get better every time we see them with Cheeseburger at the helm. Looks like the streak is about to continue. Johnson gets spiked after the double stomp, and 3S keeps racking him up.
The winners of the match, Shinobi Shadow Squad.
Well, 3S not just a part of famed Maple Leaf Gardens history, but also still undefeated here at Future of Honor. And you see their confidence, their chemistry, and certainly the buzz within Ring of Honor. Fan and locker room member alike continues to grow. You gotta be on the lookout for 3S moving forward. That'll do it for Future of Honor Friday. I am Joe Dombrowski. Thanks for watching on .com and social media. We'll see you next week.